This video covers the framing of steel utility poles in a de-energized setting. Always follow all safety procedures and wear the appropriate safety gear for the job at hand. Framing steel poles is similar in many ways to framing a wood pole. However, there are some important differences between steel and wood poles. Steel poles are hollow. This is why they are much lighter and easier to handle than wood poles, making framing on the ground for steel poles an easier process. Steel poles are a manufactured product. They have consistent dimensions from pole to pole, so the hardware needed for framing can be predetermined. Bolt selection is simplified. The same lengths are used for every installation or framing. Wood poles can expand and shrink considerably with varying temperature and moisture. Steel poles are made of a material that does not decay and are not as affected by changing climate. Steel poles have a much more dependable and consistent strength rating throughout their service lives. And because of their durability, a line worker has fewer concerns about damage from insects or woodpeckers. Hardware on a steel pole doesn't need to be torqued as tightly as on wood poles. You can use a torque wrench or tighten hardware to snug tight. For the most part, you can use the same hardware for both steel poles and wood poles. Curved or square washers are acceptable and determined by the steel pole shape. Wood or fiberglass crossarms and dead ends. Welded attachments can be installed during the manufacturing process for unique applications. Pole banding can be used for attachments such as meter loops. 1/4 by 1 inch self-tapping screws can be used for attachments such as installing pipe straps. However, there are some exceptions on steel pole hardware. Hardware with cleats, such as some guy attachments and grid gains, shouldn't be used on steel poles. Lags are replaced with 1/2 inch machine bolts. With steel poles, there's no need to run a ground wire up the pole because the pole serves as the ground. Threaded inserts, called rivnuts, can be placed anywhere on the pole where bonding attachments need to be made. Fiberglass pole top pins and extended conductor clearances may need to be used to achieve the required basic insulation level, or BIL.